with you. And today we're talking about something you all want to talk about.
Power!
Yes.
Everybody likes power.
Yes.
Little people like power.
Yes.
Big people like power.
Yes.
Everybody in between. However, our theme today is power solar plexus. And the maxim is the power that makes solar systems, galaxies, universes, and beyond is the same power that animates our bodies. Don't be afraid to look inside. There's so much I could say. I want to actually just kick things off. I know we have our announcements, but we're looking outside for power. We're not looking in. That's what I'm hearing from the card. And how can we bridge the gap between the intellectual understanding? I'm the universe. It's like, I'm the universe. And direct that power into circumstances, events, etc.
So the question is, what?
Well, it's and I don't necessarily want you to answer it right now, but because we got to go to our announcements, but like how to take that understanding and congruently apply it in our day-to-day experience, because everybody, for the most part, well, not everybody, but people on the path know we are the universe. The universe resides within us. There's a holographic template. Our nerves look like space, like universes.
You say everybody
like,
knows it?
That's why I changed it. I said people in the spiritual community, not everybody. My grandma don't know this. They're like, Grandma, you know, your universe holographically reflected in your body consists of the same things in the cosmos and beyond. And she's like, all right, grandson. You know, it's not gonna make sense for her.
I'm with that. I'm that understanding. Yes, this is exciting. Let's get to where we can talk about it.
All right, so we are wrapping up light body movement, third eye chakra, and interestingly enough, you know, this idea of our perception, how we perceive reality, is influenced by everything in the lower centers. So again, we encourage those who are pacing in light body, revisit the light body congestion release to remove the dark interferences that are dampening the expression of the power to be expressed up here, shifting our perception. And so our last session for Third Eye is this upcoming Sunday.
That's right.
And we have 5 Sundays this month, so we'll be resting on the 5th Sunday. I thought you were going to do prayer. You're going to join me? So we'll be resting, and then on the first Sunday of June, which we're already in June.
Yes, it's amazing. It's amazing. Time has sped up.
That's right. Yeah, it's real in the field. So first Sunday of June, we'll be moving into the crown chakra. So we're looking forward to this.
Yes.
Connection with the divine.
Absolutely.
Universe. Right? And throughout the week, if you missed out on Diane's midday meditation yesterday, she took us through some third eye chakra meditations, and every Wednesday at 12 noon, she's doing a group meditation that you can join in. That's available for free. And it's pacing with what we're doing in light body. So even if you're not in light body, you can get a little sample, a little taste of what's going on. But if you are, it's another opportunity to re-up and adhere to what you're learning on Sundays. Also, this upcoming Friday, we have Quantum Light Property Clearing Chronicles. We'll be joined together. Myself, Diane, Lauren of a Sun, Tiffany of a Sun, and sharing stories. So join us this Friday, 7 p.m. If you are a property clearer, if you're not a property clearer and you're interested, this is for you.
I'd like to share, this is a great forum. This is 3 of our most experienced teachers and our tutor, all with an experienced property clearer on one forum, talking about things that took place, interesting stories that have taken place in their experiences. This is a unique coming together. So there's much to be had there.
Most certainly, most certainly. So also, every Monday, you can catch Lauren of a Sun bringing forth flowers and frequencies on the live stream. And she's bringing forth meditations, communications from the consciousness of the floral kingdom. She brought forth the peony flowers.
Yes.
Which was pleasant.
Yes.
Was I got to double check, was the peonies the flower that our local deer ate up Or was that
No,
well,
no. Our deer are eating something else.
yeah, okay. I got to double check, but the deer, they ate it up. But apparently, maybe it wasn't the peonies. But if you are interested in this, check it out. It's really cool, and she has a service coming forth soon, in terms of bringing forth the flower consciousness, or the flowers that are unique to your soul. And I, for those who are reoccurring and listening, I've been just going on and on about and raving reviews about the experience, and so much so I'm about to get me a lemon blossom tree. So I can have these lemon flowers, or yeah, the lemon blossom flowers from the lemon tree. And it was just so succinct in terms of where I am in my journey. It even spoke about the relationship I had with you, and it's just magical. So we're looking forward to that.
Yes, I'll also share that I recently had a flower healing with olive blossom from the olive tree,
Yeah,
and it encouraged me to eat olives. So I ate olives yesterday.
I saw that in the evening. I was like,
And
oh,
then the previous clearing I had with crabapple blossom. And before that, I had the flower Star of Bethlehem. So I'm being expanded with all of these allies that are bringing such spectacular ancient primordial frequencies into my experience.
you
So
know,
you are encouraged to do so.
I'm thinking about, again, with today's card pool, because again, power, the power that moves through the floral kingdom, the beauty that we see, we're not separate from that.
No, we're
Even
not.
when I think about the chakras, sometimes I think about, like, it's like I'm a stem, and like these are different flowers
Yes.
coming out, and blooming, and if your flower's wilting, you might need some light body activation. However, but we are this. That it's that same animating force, and it's just cool to be able to work with the consciousness of them in a deeper way, where it's more than admiration. We can actually get healing and insight and information within the living library.
Yes, it's our view of so many things in our experience is so shallow. We don't always recognize the contribution that the flowers came to Earth to participate in the living library with humans and all other forms of life, because the deer eat the flower too. The insects eat the flower too. Everyone is gains and is expanded by the light and the healing of the flower kingdom. And very little of that is known. So we are part of the expansion of humanity in that way.
Yes, yes.
It's very wonderful.
Indeed, indeed. And so, one last announcement for anyone who's interested in shaman services. Maybe you've heard about power animals, and you're like, I want to know what my power animal is. You can know what your power animal is. Shaman Stephanie is offering these services for reconnection with your power animal, as well as soul retrieval. So, this is one of our newest additions to the Of a Sun team. And you can find this on the service tab, and you'll see shamanic services. Click that. You can also book a free discovery call with her to inquire of where to move, and even gain more information on the modalities that she offers. So, you ready to dive into this?
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
All right. So, once again, welcome everyone, and Lokesh and Veritas, to you all for joining us. And so today we're talking about power. So, once again, as a recap, our card pool today: the power that makes solar systems, galaxies, universes, and beyond is the same power that animates our body systems. Don't be afraid to look inside. All right. So this is solar plexus.
Yes.
And one of the things that comes to mind is I want to harp on the don't be afraid to look inside. And it feels as though everything outside is trying to get our attention, i.e., our power via attention, and it presents itself as though it's grander than us. It's the authority, and it has been for so long, but it feels like it's so much more of a desperate attempt to garner the attention of humanity, and even those who are on the process of awakening. So, what are your thoughts on this card pool, Alta? Like, what do you feel needs to come forth?
I think what you said is so true, deeply true, and that it would be, I think one of the easy examples for us to see it is things like Disney World. Like, think about when you were at first aware of Disney World, how it grabbed your attention. It had all of your desires, it had all of your will to be there with it. It was able to capture power that you willingly gave it because the transaction was, oh, there's Daffy Duck, there's Minnie Mouse, there's all my favorite things, and they're bigger than life, and they're like cartoons, and they're colorful, and I can go there and immerse myself in it. And that's a precursor to the internet. That was one way that our attention was garnered with our willingness to do so. So television, of course, all of these things, but the commodity is the attention. You can direct my consciousness to you. Now you have my consciousness. You can do whatever you want with it because I'm essentially the consciousness. So now you have me and all of the energy that represents the power that represents me willingly given to you to do what you want to with it because I'm so distracted by all the bells and whistles and the fireworks. So I think that's a way to identify what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's interesting. The bells and whistles, the fireworks. As you were speaking about consciousness being focused on this experience that was curated from someone else's mind,
right.
It's like, I need your attention to engage, to
right.
keep this thing alive.
It doesn't work without our consciousness.
No, and that's the most.
It's just stuff. Just
baffling
painted, brightly colored stuff, pieces of cardboard. It's just stuff without the animating force of our consciousness to make it come alive, and then they can then use the energy for whatever they want.
Yeah. So, and I think that right there, it flips the perception of who and what we are. Is sometimes I walk around and I'm like, damn, I don't even know who. I was literally mumbling to myself as I was walking in the store. I was walking in Office Depot, and I'm going into the plaza, and I'm just seeing humans, or maybe they're human, I don't know. Especially nowadays, they out here, and they're just mutant, and I'm reaffirming my connection to the divine, and then I'm also thinking about humans on autopilot, and just not knowing their connection and who and what they are. And then, but this is my point, who and what we are in terms of consciousness and the power of attention and how these things require us, and it really flips the perception. We just did something with Soul Translation. We're talking about parasites, and what it looks like is like these corporations, these institutions, these different systems, the social medias, etc. They are parasitic. It's like they plug in, and like they need us, the hosts, and again, are nothing without us. But I feel like if we knew that, or if we had that type of clarity with all things, even within arm's reach, there may be people in your life who may be siphoning off of you, who they can't sustain themselves without you giving up your power, and it will fall flat. The world of a difference that it would make, both directly and indirectly.
It's true, but we do know, but we don't know. We know if we don't shop at Target, what happens. We know if we don't.
They end up losing billions.
Yeah, at closing stores. Yeah. So we do know, but we want the thing. We want the thing that the parasite offers us. We want Daffy. We want Donald. We want Minnie. We want all of the things that would be Disney. We want the person in our lives who doesn't really give us anything, but we have a fantasy about what that looks like, and we want that anyway.
That was impressed upon us by those on the outside.
Yeah, or something that's in our mind that we've been developing that is not based on truth. So the bigger issue is that the Walt Disneys, the television, all the internet, All of these things distract us from life. So we think life is boring because we never get to meet life.
Yeah.
We don't really understand what an ant is doing. We don't really know how the wasps live. We're not really aware of the complicated constructs and culture of the bees. We don't know their contribution to humanity. So we think that we can limit it to say, oh, we only like vegan things, or we only like things that don't kill each other, or we only like trees that don't, get in the way, or because we've been made shallow through our it's really the visual vortex of the visual cortex where what we see animates our interest in it. Like, it's exciting, it's animated, it's cartoonish, it's colorful, it's fireworks.
That false light got our
Yes,
attention.
there you go.
That's what it feels like. Because when I look at life that springs up, to me, that's what's real.
Because that is what's real.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
again, it's everything that you were saying. It was rising up in my mind, just in my own iteration, when I was just observing humans, just moving and just seeing the disconnect, And so I want to speak about or ask you about the power holding or the body holding universal intelligence. And because again, we as humans, we don't really even comprehend that that's a thing. We don't be thinking we're intelligent. We've been taught that we're nothing and that the body is nothing. So we don't have value. We don't have respect. And some of you, you may have awareness of like the holographic nature of reality where, you can see if you look at the circulatory system of the lungs and it looks like trees and branches. And it's like, oh, snap, I need the trees to breathe, or even the corals in the ocean, right? To breathe, which kind of look like branches too.
Yeah.
So there's a, and we can go on and on, but I'm not gonna take us there. But the point is that it's there. Like, how do people begin to start tapping into that? Like, is it just as simple as go in the house, go inside?
No, it's not
Stop.
actually. It's given the how far along we are in the deconstruction of the human on the planet in the time of the fall of the empire. No, it's not.
Mm.
There's because it's layer upon layer, generation upon generation. Do your parents, are they exempt? Were their parents exempt? So we have generational experiences. I love the beauty of how Mother Earth just recently was speaking to us in a transmission. And Mother Earth said, "You don't walk upon my back. You are inside of me because what you are made of is me." It takes that kind of clarity. Like, ooh, what? I'm thinking I'm walking around on the back of the mother. That's true in one way of thinking, but the reality is you are made from that which is created and divine. There's lifetimes of exploration in that. It's not made of cardboard and it's not just brightly colored. It's everything from which everything else has come. But it isn't our point of view, but it's the truth. And I love
Yeah.
that language.
I feel as though humans are walking. Are you familiar with Waymo, the autonomous driving vehicles?
Oh, I have heard of them. You can inform me, though, educate me.
Yeah. I feel as though we have, throughout millennia, become something like that. So, if you're not familiar, in major cities across the US, there are autonomous driving vehicles that function like Uber. And they're also pretty notorious for just stopping in the middle of the roads. And there's a video I saw of like 3 of them blocking 3 lanes. And then you look back, there's traffic piled up and they're not moving.
They're talking to each other.
I don't know what they were doing. AI takeover or something. Testing it out. But the idea of we're in a vehicle, we're inside of like the vehicle itself is Earth.
Yes.
That's a shift in perception, right?
Yes, and that's power. When you know you are the planet, not that got a pair of shoes and you're walking on the planet, it's a whole other thing.
Yeah, and even that idea is I've been observing myself, because the more I've been building the relationship with Earth and the body and having these awarenesses, like, oh my gosh, like I'm in the Earth, like that's what this is. And I start studying more of the anatomy and uh, how everything's interconnected, and like seeing the holographic nature. And then when I look at the grass, I'm like, yeah, that's me, or that's the vessel I'm in, and I'm connected, and ooh wee. But then somewhere along the lines, it's like we're like those Waymo cars, where like it's like self-driving, where it's almost as though in our vehicle we're in the back seat, and something else, a different program has been set to drive us somewhere, and
Yeah,
we're
we're
not
not even in the
necessarily,
back seat in most
well,
cases.
we in the trunk tied up like
I think that might be more and we have the audacity and the hubris to think that I will only touch these things from creation, these particular vegetables and these particular animals and these, as if we are not that. Even in our limitation of what we think we will and will not do based on the purpose of a thing in creation, we diminish ourselves. We limit ourselves. I will only do so and so and so and so from what has been created by the divine intelligence that creates all things. I only like this flower and not any of the other flowers. I will only smell that. Even that is separating ourselves out from being able to see the beauty in all things, including ourselves. So there is that.
Well, this is making me think again about
Power,
identity.
that is the power. The power is in seeing into everything that is made from nature and creation, from Mother Earth. You do that. That'll take you several lifetimes. You just keep doing that to see where you go.
Well, I'll tell you, where it's taken me is every walking, crawling thing, I see it as the mother. She shared that with us, that look, everything that is made from me is me. And like the different archetypes are, well, the different animals are varying archetypes of information that is coming to communicate through us. So it's like messengers from the mother. It's that's how it's landed from me. It's not just the consciousness of that animal. It's like I come on behalf of the mother.
Well,
Mama said.
so that
Clean your
happened
chakras.
to us recently. Last week, a peacock came and stood in front of my window until I became aware and gave it in Lakesh. And then it walked around. It was beautiful. It was like showing me how beautiful it was. Look at me from the side. Look at me from this side. Look at me from the front. It was like that. And it was very clear that we were being blessed in the moment. That peacock had to jump over a fence. It had to come from wherever they have it locked up that it got out and broke out out of jail.
What's hilarious is that the neighbors reinforced the wiring of the fence, but that's not stopping the peacocks or the deer for that matter.
There was a peacock wrangler last season when the peacocks all made a break for it. They all tried to run over to where we live.
I saw some peacocks running away from the owners on the other side of it. It was hilarious.
Running towards us.
But, sounds like they're in their season of rebellion.
Well, the point is that if it didn't happen like they just woke up and we were there. Like this was clearly a message that was being sent, that was directed. It wasn't like we had all of the other peacocks held hostage here. They came to get them. It's more like we were here, and the peacock's like, I'm going to see up the sun. I'm on my way over there, and I know I got to scale fences and I've got to watch out for the wranglers.
And it came, it did what it needed to do. And she was like, Tavares, the peacock's back. I was like, oh, I stopped what I was doing, ran outside. I caught the last like moment or so, and it was glorious. I wore my peacock scarf the next day, my shawl. But I want to bring it back to, all right, yes, consciousness, animals. I'll put a little pin in it, but to get back to the idea about the body, right? And
Yeah.
okay, so we've established what the body is, and clearly there's power and divine intelligence moving through this, but we are disconnected. It's like we're inside of it, but we're not driving. It's like
No.
autonomously being directed by other outside influences, and even more so, we are disconnected from the server of Earth and
Yeah.
the heavens.
Those are such good analogies because it's true.
If I may, more and more we've been speaking about the body's technology. Even the other sun insignias. I mean, you can't see the floor, but there's the Veritas insignia. These technologies, these insignias, these symbols, they're technology. The body, it's technology, and it's really been helpful for me to see it as such, and to overlay the language from the computers onto this is organic living tech, because they mimicked us, and it's helping me understand. It's like, oh, that's right, I am disconnected. I'm walking across the parking lot like, damn, I wish I was, well, I wanted to say barefoot, but then, I don't want to be walking on that pavement. But it was the idea of like, I got to navigate disconnected because the rubber insulates my connection. Like, I'm looking forward to getting back home and kick these shoes off.
Right.
So, but that's my point. It's like the language is helping me see more and more the structure of reality of, like, it's been created to separate us from the
Yes.
divine universal intelligence.
Which is really speaking to the card. So, what is power? Power is the wholeness of the clarity that you are part of everything. What could be more powerful than that? That means you got backup, like big backup, like all of life backup, everything on the earth backup, that you are part of that. You're not alone. That is a distortion, and you're thinking you're sad, you're depressed, you're by yourself. That's not true. The room is always full. The trees are always outside. The ground is always alive. The air is you're always breathing the air. The sun is shining daily, whether it's shining directly on you or somewhere else.
Birds, insects,
Yeah.
other animals trying to get your attention, but you like da 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 da
Because
da
we're
da.
in a psychosis. Our psychosis is I feel alone because I'm not connected. All the things that I eat, think, and do, all the people I'm with are artificial representations of what life should be like. So I feel alone, but you're not feeling alone for more of that. You don't want more of those people.
Yeah, that's the weird part. Like,
Yes,
because
which,
more of
but that's
that
what
is
you think you
still
want.
not gonna fill the void.
Yeah, but that you think I want to be out with parties. I want to be invited out. I want people to, ask me out. I want people to marry me. I want to, all of these things, thinking that you're going to get less of what it is that you're asking for.
Like,
But
give
you're
me
getting,
more disconnection and
yes,
fake and
yes.
artificial to fulfill me. That's how I'm
When
translating
in
it.
fact, none of us were designed alone. As we are inside of Mother Earth, so our ancestors are inside of us. I mean, I could go on.
It's beautiful, but
We're
it's like, damn,
nestled.
like getting to like adhering to that truth, so
Yes.
it doesn't just.
Yes. I mean, at any point, you could sit quietly and talk to the ancestor who has already passed away. At any point, it's still available. There is no death. They can hear you, they can respond. You can hear them back if you allow yourself. It's the same with Mother Earth. We are all like Russian dolls nestled inside of one another in different layers and dimensions that we think of as outside of ourselves, like as the Akasha, but we are the Akashic record. We are the record of all things from the beginning. We're not alone.
In the beginning.
Yes.
Beginning. All right. So let us know your thoughts, everybody, because we're kind of going in. And I want to speak a little bit more about, even though this is solar plexus, we're talking a lot about the earth and the root. And I was thinking this morning about this card, how the solar plexus is like our identity center. And when I was reflecting on this card this morning, I was thinking about, okay, um, again, I'm going to read it one more time. The power that makes the solar systems, galaxies, universes, and beyond is the same power that is animating my body systems. And then it went back to, what is my body? And then
Is that in the book? What is my body?
no, these just questions I'm
Oh, okay.
posing from reflecting on the card. What's my body? Okay, my body's Earth.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, I'm thinking Earth root chakra. What's going on there? What's going on with my relationship with the body? Because like, how can I step into, when I, again, solar plexus is like the self identity, the lower mental body of the I, but like that is distorted if we don't relate with Earth, if we don't relate with the body or open ourselves up to the beauty of the divine intelligence that's established within the physical material. You got any thoughts on that?
It's just so, I was thinking as you were speaking how everything is the earth. Like the water in our body is the water in the oceans and the streams and the lakes, and the soft tissue is the land, and that we everything is a hologram within a hologram within a hologram, figuratively, uh, poetically, and literally.
Yes.
That it all is so, the the things that are in the earth, the minerals, the elements that on the periodic table, the gold, the silver, that is in us. We have crystals in our brain. We have gold in our blood. We have all of those aspects are part of us in varying levels and degrees, depending on our exposure and our ancestry. But we could go get and have and enhance any aspect of it to bring balance to us so that we can then be in gratitude. Because without understanding who your mother is or who you are in the scheme of things and what this looks like, where are you in the nestled bundling of each thing within the other thing?
Yeah, I like how you
Yeah.
articulated that. You got to know who your mother is to know who you are, like
And
where you
what,
come from.
yeah, once you get that part, then it all becomes, I can have it be whatever I want. And that's the creative aspect of the womb man and the man, is those two polarities of creation can then create what with the ingredients that are available. Once they recognize who they are, our understandings of procreation and creation are very limited. We think it's about having babies. It's not. It's one thing. The one, and remember, all that we know, we've been allowed to know. And all that we're stretching for has been kept away from us. So, what we're so sure about, like, I'm so sure this is the way it's supposed to be, and this is what religion says, and this is what the authorities in our world, there's probably more.
Always.
There's probably
Always.
another way. So, you are encouraged to be clear about whatever it is that you know that you have clarity on, and leave yourself open for what you have not yet learned or have not yet seen or has not yet perceived or has not yet been given to you or has not been pointed out to you, that you can also have that along with all of the other things you have. The idea of being an aspect of the earth, the mother, the father, the greater universe, all of that is an opportunity to expand. So in our separation, we become less. The idea of power is in our wholeness, not in our separation. So it's like, I'm the one and I will be the only one and I'm the master of the universe. That is not power, that's delusion.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. So I want to take it a little step further here. And it looks like there's a lot of activity, comments, and we're going to get to you all in a moment or two. Well, it's going to be more than a moment or two, excuse me. We will get to you when we get to you, but we see you, we feel you, we value you. And power, the power that's inside, the more I connect with the earth and see the power of the divine intelligence, the more I see it's just so clear how we've been taught to fear the innate power.
Yes.
It's such a deep Jedi mind trick. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I wanted to just propose a question to you of like, how can people move into more direct one-to-one experiences? Because we can watch a beautiful documentary, spiritual documentary that visually shows the correspondences of the body's holographic nature with nature itself, and it helps us see. And I think it's needed. You know, I've grew throughout my years, I've seen things like that. It's helped me correlate it. But even still, it was a shallow understanding that didn't compare to connecting with the consciousness of a wasp or a tiny little katydid grasshopper or a spider or a flower or a tree. Like, oh, tree, yeah, I'm not working with you all like I should. Like, all right, let's thank you for the invite to do something, like to be open, receptive to the feel and to that power, to where we're not in fear of it. Because again, it's wow, because it's like we've been taught to fear ourselves, fear the power that's within. How can we move more into like a direct, like experiential connection with divine power?
I think there's a few things in the way of that we have to put down.
It's a good point.
Many of our cultural and religious and authority figures like, don't be messing with nature. Don't go out there talking and don't be saying you hearing things. Why you don't have your shoes on with the rubber soles out there? You want to pick up a tick, or something? Like, we have to stop feeling that we are not nature. We are nature.
Yeah.
So what's in the way of our breakthrough is that we are completely unaware. We're taught from infancy that that's not you, this is you, that's something else that might bite you.
Yeah, it's crazy now. Better watch out. Better watch out.
You know, and the any interactions, don't be barefoot, don't get in the water, don't touch the
Don't-
trees.
Don't
Like,
do nothing that got to do with nature.
and when you do, kill everything, kill all the ants, kill all the bees, kill all the wasps, and run from whatever you can't kill.
Yeah.
We have to really, before we start going into this deep union, we got to see, who are we? How do we behave? What have we allowed? And what do we know about that that's not true? Like, everybody who's hearing this, if you're not laughing, maybe you think it's true, but if you're laughing, you're like, this is how humanity operates, with this dual understanding. Like, yeah, we know we are, but yeah, we like being afraid. Yeah, they told us to be afraid, so we're going to act out being afraid until we act out being afraid so much now we are afraid. So it has to be where we give ourselves permission to be the truth of who we are. So it goes back to truth. What is the truth of the experience? I would think, if you think about it from the perspective that we're speaking about, you will see that we have limited the amount of truth that's available to us. Did you know that you could? I mean, it's not a myth that you could make it rain. It's not a myth that you can ask the storm to go around you. It's not a myth that you can ask the tornado not to blow your house down. And people do it, but you think it's a myth. You think, oh, it was just coincidence. But let me tell you, coincidence is choreography. Salsa, chapata, cha cha. It's choreography. It's not what you think it is. It's like we decided to dance, and now it's going to rain. Feels good, doesn't
That's
it?
deep, yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to be connected to do that.
Or at the very least, hear somebody who is. At the very least, like, let this. If you feel something, put something in the chat. If you feel something from what I just said, you want to cha-cha, chapata, and salsa with nature, like put something in. I mean, like, if that didn't touch your soul, we'll keep trying.
This is deep. This is showing. Well, so first off, I want to recap that there are layers of interferences and incongruencies that we have to address that create or reinforce the barrier of separation or the barrier of entry
Yes.
that we've allowed
You
through
can't
generations.
just jump over that. You can't jump over that fence and say, "Okay, I'm one."
Yeah, and then you mess around, get stung by the wasp. Like, man, get your because you're stinking thinking. You know the saying. You get crazy, nature get crazy, and it's going off a frequency.
You have to be deeply. You have to be at the point. And I grew up like everybody else, afraid of everything, trying to kill stuff. But once you get to clarity, you have to calm yourself enough to allow yourself to give the wasp in Lakesh and see what it's going to do. That's calming your nerves.
Look, I got to tell them about the wasp. So I'm driving the other day, and my windows are all open, and then I feel something smack me on the back of the neck, and it felt wet. I'm like, what the hell? All right. And I hit, it was like, oh, snap. It's a wasp. I'm driving. Wasp, I'm like, focus. All right. So it's going a little crazy. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And my guidance kicks in. My guidance says, send it in Lakesh and be with it. I was like, all right. We get to the red light in Lakesh. But let me tell you, though, this is what I was getting what I was asking for. It was training. It was conditioning to break down the walls of separation, to release the fear. Because, like, me and Wasp go way back. I got stung on my eye by a wasp when I was young. The neighborhood kids lied and said, you're going to get AIDS from the wasp. So, like, there's deep trauma, right? And then over the years, I became cool with the wasp. But there's still, like, layers to the relationship, right? And so it's here, and it's going a little crazier. And we driving, and, And so I calm myself, and then I just move into it. And really, I moved into me.
There you go. So that's
and
really
I realized,
the reality.
we're not separate.
Yeah, that was your interference pattern that it was showing you so that you could address it.
Yeah, and that we did, and it was crawling on me and crawling up, but it was a little disoriented, and I can tell because it would fall. I was like, oh, okay. And then once I got somewhere, I pulled over, and it was on me, and then I just kind of let them off, and safely. And then went about my business. But again, it was a moment of, all right, how connected are you, T?
Yeah.
How real is it? But it was more so an opportunity.
Yeah.
It was like, and I felt so good. So much so I was like, man, I should just let the wasp chill for a hot minute. But I was about to pick up the grandson, so I don't know. Like, let me just, but from that moment, I began to look at the animals and the insects of all forms as, okay, like, these are the opportunities for me to connect. I shouldn't be afraid of it because, you get crazy, nature get crazy. It's going to respond to my frequency.
Yeah, I mean, it's power. This is the card. That's power. You took a moment to see yourself in it. Whatever you did, there's no right or wrong. You can always next time.
Yeah, try next time.
Do the next thing. There's no right or wrong because we were all baptized in this closing all. I mean, I knew people, grandmothers who were like, they'd see a fly, they'd like slam all the doors, lock them.
Yeah. Get your ass. You ain't making it out alive.
Yeah, and it became like the focus of their humanity.
Yeah.
Like, you will not be in my house,
This little fly.
Yeah, it's like there's not enough room in the house for you and the fly. Like, there's not enough room here for both.
There can only be one. There can only be one.
like it is microscopic and you can't let it live because you live there too. What is wrong with us? So there's, but recently, in recent years, and because of I've traveled and seen some unusual things that crawl on the earth, I have eased my excitement and moved out of urgency. So I spent some time with dragonflies last summer where they were everywhere. And I was so grateful to them because they ate all the mosquitoes. I'm like, I'm outside and there's no mosquitoes. And then I realized the dragonfly was like, we did that. I'm like, ooh, I gotta have dragonflies everywhere I go.
Yeah.
I want dragonflies. And they were sitting on my toes, they were flying around, sometimes 3 or 4 at a time. And that level of, oh, the beauty of your design, the service that you give to me. By the way, mosquitoes are not from creation, so don't worry about killing those. Like you can give Millicash first, but they are not from creation. They are an adaptation for suffering, and they hunt humans. So that's a different relationship. So the fact that the dragonflies were the warrior winged heroes in that story when I was outside, and I was in such gratitude that they just started being all over me all the time. And it felt funny when I found that in my knowingness, it calmed the nervous reaction that comes automatically after a lifetime of fear and the fear of the generations before me. But the beauty of being at one with the dragonfly, oh, it was,
Yeah.
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 I don't even have words for how cool it was to be with the dragonflies like that. I was
just like
ooh.
fly, just perch and land up on you. It's like, oh snap, that's what we doing. We here, yeah. Damn, you look nice.
Yeah, they were beautiful. They were iridescent wings. They were light. I was like, oh, I want to fly like that. It's like they're like, come on, move in. I can move into that consciousness. I can fly around too. It's available. That Disney don't have that.
Nah, but see, and so the thing about the dragonflies though, because I was right there with you, pulling it in, and like the communion and the information. But matter of fact, before I even go there, seeing the relationship that we have with nature and how the dragonflies were of service, it's making me think how like we don't understand the interconnected system. Like having spiders can serve us.
Yes.
Like little things like that, and how that could, even in your garden, it can serve you. But wanting to kill everything, it's like we lose those beautiful opportunities to work in tandem with another intelligence, just simply because we don't understand it and we fear it.
It's so true. I've seen movies where people make the bees victorious and then they make the wasp the villains. I'm like, how did that happen? The wasp and the bees are all right.
Yeah.
Who?
Wasps are even pollinators.
I know. Like, why are you coming in and deciding to spray the nest of the wasp and leave the bees? Like, you don't need to be killing any of them, but who made you the arbitrator of?
I think it's because relative subjectively they're not as cute. They like,
well, that's all
a little more edgy. It's that's why I say subjectively. But to me, I'm like, damn, the wasp's kind of bad.
Well,
all right, wasp.
There's much to be learned, and there's a lot of wonderful science coming out of the kind of protective things that happen with the insect kingdom. And I'm not actually promoting insects. I'm more promoting Mother Earth.
Yeah.
I'm more promoting who we are. We are inside of that, but we think everything that is man-made is so much more interesting only because we have such a shallow view. The depth of what you can understand from a bee could take you a lifetime. You could probably figure out Walt Disney in an afternoon. The depth of beauty and service and example of the systems of how the colonies are run and the hierarchy and why it's done a certain way and what bees take care of the babies and what bees go out to forage and what bees a warrior would be well for us to study. We don't have any man-made systems that hold up like that. And if we do, they're based on the ones that exist in nature. So the power is in us seeing who we are in the scheme of things. So in this experience on the earth plane, who are we and how are we connected to everything else? And that is the power. So that's ultimately the response.
So I got one more thing before we go to our comments here. How we must be extremely powerful. Extremely. Because when I look around and see like, oh my gosh, the infrastructure of this artificial reality that we've been participating in has been doing the most, making a very strong concerted effort to sustain disconnection, whether it be through the clothing, the footwear, what we put on our skin, the chemicals, our hair, what we allow to enter into the retina, the pupil of our eyes, the false light, the EMFs, the Wi-Fi, the this, the that, all of it. And yet we still over here talking to dragonflies and wasps and spiders or trees, flowers. Exactly.
It's still our rise.
Exactly.
You know, the reality is that none of those artificial structures can work without our participation, our willingness to fuel them with our power. As soon as we decide, it's just like not shopping at a store. As soon as we decide not to cash in the currency of our power, they collapse under the weight of their own nothingness.
Artificiality.
Yeah.
You ain't nothing.
They're made from nothing and you return to nothing. Then you go back to the nothingness from which you came. Yeah. And that's what happens, but this remains. But we need to honor the sacredness of the mother, honor the sacredness of ourselves, give ourselves the proper nourishment, and treat ourselves with levels of honor, respect, and gratitude that will sustain our divinity, our sacredness. We are sacred land. We don't live on sacred land. We are the sacred land, living on the inside the mother who is the sacred land. You know, like it's all nestled within it. And we go for the okey doke. Yeah, I want the fireworks. Well, you have the fireworks then. It's okay. You're eternal. You can keep doing this. You know, it's all right.
Let that one marinate. Sometimes we gotta let it marinate.
Yeah, we're not mad. We're just like those who want more and can see more and are on the precipice, on the edge of finding more. Jump in. Go ahead. Calm down. Give it in, Lakesh. See what happens. See if you don't see the iridescent, beautiful wings of the dragonfly and want to fly with it. Ride on its back. I'll start telling you all what I'm going to do it.
Save that for another episode. All right. There's a lot of commentary here. We're gonna go to the chat and see what you all are cooking up. While I'm scrolling through the chat to get to the top, I want to send honor, respect, and gratitude to everybody who's joining us and here and sticking in this conversation, because it's no small thing to stretch to see yourself in the truth. And as Lao Tzu was saying, removing addressing the barriers. Like, yeah, we know we won, but like, how much are you living it? And to move into living it, we got to address what's stopping us from doing it. So we have a comment here, Stacy OTS 17. I had to correct myself after disrespecting a roach. I did not think, nor did I kill it, but the way I excused it out of my space wasn't correct. I apologize to the consciousness of the roaches. It's a thing. When I see them, it's like, hey, what's up? And keep it moving. It's all life is life. It's again these the the perception that we hold on it. I think something that's important, and we've mentioned this before, the way we treat these brown roaches is the way how brown people have been treated. Got to address that in you. Chakra Warrior says 87. Chakra Warrior 8753. She says, "Namaste, you two glow sun souls." She's always coming up with these cute catchphrases.
And she can see.
Hey, appreciate it. Spiritually and energetically, our bodies holding universal intelligence is a reminder that we are not separate from life. We are expressions of it. We carry an innate wisdom that often speaks long before the mind understands. That part. That part right there. She got a little bit more. The rhythm of our breath, intuition, emotions, instinct, and even our need for a rest are all part of a deeper intelligence moving through us. I know that's the truth. Go ahead. I'll share my thoughts afterwards.
I've spent time in jungles in Africa, different countries, and I've been in the bush. And when you walk to the edge of a primordial uh, reality that has been unaffected, who you are either is in flow or in interruption. So if everything stops making noise, all the birds stop, all the sounds stop, you have just stopped the music in the orchestra.
Yeah, you done hit the DJ booth.
Yes, because you
skip.
don't, because you're so far removed from the reality of what
Yeah.
the truth is. So I love what she said because it reminded me that it is the way we breathe. It is the way we move. It is the frequency that is us that can move into a space where life is and not stop everything. So I love what she said.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I like that last part. Even our need for rest are all part of a deeper intelligence moving through us.
Absolutely.
Again, I was sharing with you all how just moving more into the root to gain stabilization up here, a perception of self. And I have had a tendency where I'll push the body to work longer to do, and like, I got to get stuff done. And because I'm honoring it more, I'm going to bed more earlier.
Yes.
And being hypersensitive to it, it's like, oh, I can feel the shutdown happen. It's like, oh, okay, all right, like 5-10 more minutes enough. I'm a shut down. I'm not gonna do. Oh no, I got such and such to do. No, because there's a rhyme and a reason. Like honor it.
Yes,
Honor the intelligence.
it's brilliant what she just said, and it's something that everybody should kind of keep in the foremost of your mind that there are, as we live inside of Mother Earth, so many millions and multi-millions of things live inside of us, and when it's time for their bedtime, you ought to let them go to bed.
For real.
No, for real. Like,
Like,
it's
oh,
time
he
for them to be
keeping us
nourished.
up.
You need to give them nourishing food. It's not just you. We are we. We are not I. We are we. It's not that it's inappropriate to say the word I, but we are we.
Yeah, it's like you gotta see
We're
the two
squared.
together.
Yeah.
That's you need that left and that right brain working together.
Yeah. So thank you. That's excellent.
Yeah, we got. Let's see. Lauren says, "Totally want to go tango with the tulip." Stacy OTS say, "Make it rain, make it rain." Erica Duro, often find myself wondering how to deal with several ant piles in my yard, but I've talked several storms into going easy on my house in New Orleans. Oh, okay. So she's like,
Yeah.
I'm showing this area. This area need a little bit more work, but I mean, you're doing it.
Yeah, it's really, really have to figure out what they need and why are you moving them. Are you moving them because they're blocking your front door? Are you moving them because you don't like the way they look? It matters.
Yeah, the reasoning.
It matters.
And they
because
respond to it.
your own commitment to the clarity helps deliver the message. So if it's frivolous, they feel it. They're like, I thought we'd just stay right here.
Very much so.
Why should we move all of our generations and all our children and all our grandchildren because you don't like us in your front yard? But if it's by the door and people could get hurt, ants could die, I've had that kind of issue,
Mm-hmm.
and you talk to them, give them Inlacash. Sometimes it will take them. They may honor your request, but it may take them 2 or 3 weeks to move because you don't know how much is under the ground that you can't see. How many years they've been tunneling, building, housing their generations. It's not always a simple matter. When I've talked to ants and other bugs before, they're like, well, can't we just stay here with our babies? Is often what I'll hear back. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, go ahead, stay.
Yeah, like, my bad. I didn't have kids.
Great. Yeah.
I'm not a home wrecker.
Yeah, maybe I'll just put a fence around it and put some flowers up.
Yeah. So I like this this idea of consideration and the time that it takes to move into action. And I think I'm thinking about how humans, our consciousness has been conditioned to do it now. When I say when I want it, and most of the time we don't even move like that. When somebody asks us, it's like, man, I need like a week of notice. Or I need a couple of days.
How do we feel when somebody talks to us? Like I said, right now.
Like,
oh, that's gonna cost you another month.
You're gonna have to. Yeah, right.
Oh, you talking to me like that? Like I was in agreement, but right now,
Yeah.
So consider that. Continue to give Inlacash, continue to gain insight, and then find a way if you can be of service back to them, because you don't know what they're keeping away from your house. You don't know what could have crossed their path that they got rid of in the middle of the night. Yeah.
True. All right, so we got and before we skip the comment to go into the next, shout out to, she's speaking to the storms.
Yeah,
that's a very real thing. Ava Sun is historically known for doing that and encouraging people to do the same. We're not separate. I think that the more we realize that, the more we can move into, the intellectual understandings of, we could speak to the storm, or we could be at the right frequency and be communicated when to move and when to stay. And
you could even join the storm family. If you become a property clearer, you become a clearer. The storms are clearers, the tornadoes are clearers, the rain is clear. The things in weather that are real are things that clear, and that is our family. We are clearers, and of the sun, that's the lane we operate in. The more you learn about that, the more family you become. But you don't have to be family. You can be a neighbor and be talking to them.
Yeah, true that. Get in where you fit in. I'm Elijah Wood says, I am part of the butterfly clan. Okay.
Ooh.
Yep, this one here again.
Ooh.
Speaking her language. Whenever we are outside enjoying and remembering the beauty of our experience, butterflies always show up to join the vibes. A butterfly came inside the arena where my son's graduation was and dropped down from hundreds of feet down to where he was. Wow,
absolutely.
That's magical.
Remember, we have had conversations with the butterflies, and this is what they shared with me. I went to a butterfly, I don't know what it's called, like a conservatory. And we're in the conservatory in Florida talking to the butterflies. It was a rainy day. And they said, we're solar. We are of the sun too. I'm like, whoa, look at that. So they only are around when the sun is out or they can get sun. That's when their wings operate as solar panels. And right now, I have just recently bought some butterfly um, flowers so the caterpillars can lay their eggs so I can have butterflies too, because I'm with you, Elijah Woods. It's all
Butterfly
good.
Clan used to have a butterfly lounge chair. It was
Yes.
like, yeah, but
that was it was from Diane.
You got butterfly hair clips. She's part of that butterfly clan for sure. It's a thing. When I was young, I used to be afraid of butterflies. It's crazy. I'll never forget this until I wasn't. I remember elementary, and they were monarchs. And when I think of it, I'm like, wow, we really had monarchs just freely flying around in the front of the school, and I was just like a little nervous. I was like, what are these things? And again, as a child, not being taught to like engage with the beauty of it. It
Yeah,
wasn't until
nobody telling you like, oh, they're here celebrating the sun, and then here you show up years later and on the sun. It's all one thing.
yeah, we got to do better, y'all. I'm scared of butterflies. I was scared of what is that? They do it a lot, ma'am. Ridiculous. Essential Tribe says a whole world of magic is available through the animal world. We are animals. I think in our own right, the body. It's funny because like the body is like kind of that. Like I don't want to say animals per se, but like kind of. Would you expound on it?
Well, I won't make too fine of a point on it.
Mammals.
Yeah, I'm not going to
it's
make too
like
fine
it's a
of a
thing,
point on
but
it. The reality is they are inside of the mother too. We are inside
Yeah.
of the mother with them. The insects are inside of the mother. We're no less butterfly than we are bear.
we cousins.
Yeah,
It's like,
by the same token, we're no less celery or cucumber.
Yeah.
So, we can't demonize any aspect of. We are all in the network. The language the Mother Earth uses is that this is my network. You see a cow, you see a deer, that's me sending you a message because that's my network. It's instantaneous, and I wanted to give you a,
Yeah.
so think of it like that. And it's not limited to ants and cows or buffalo or
Yeah.
tigers.
It's like the elements themselves.
Yes, it's not limited by anything. It's all what is divine, what is sacred, what is made from creation is our relation. So, the separating it out, I'm not feeling separating it out into categories. It feels very human.
Because it is. And I get the need or the necessity for identification. Things require naming and identifying, but it's so compartmentalized.
I'm telling you, I go into the grocery store and I see the eggplant and the red bell peppers and the cucumbers and the jalapenos. I see the melons. I'm like, oh, it's a family reunion.
Yeah.
It's like those my cousins.
Speaking of which, I just I'm shifting back into gardening, as you know, and was thinking about when I start building up again, how I'm gonna have a bunch of different varieties of plants growing together, and how industrial farming is just like monocrop, singular, linear, separated instead of the diversity. Like when I step outside, it's all type of plants. Oh, I don't know what you are, I don't know what you are, but everybody's out here doing their thing, growing, and like we need the biodiversity, but it's again, for me, I see that as that's the template, that's the one to stop separating everything. Yes, there is individuation. It's just kind of like what we were saying earlier. Yeah, it's the I, but it's me, it's we together. It's not separate.
There is no place in nature where there's only one thing that grows. there's no place in nature where there's only one thing living there. It doesn't exist like that because everything needs everything else, and everything's connected through the Mother Earth network. Whether you can see it, whether it's under the ground or in the sky, it's there. And so there is no such thing as monocrop. That's one of those ideas that men think are brilliant.
Yeah, be like, I know. We gonna do only one crop. We're gonna do lots of it.
So that we can monetize it.
That's right.
And yeah. So as to, I don't want to go too far into
that. Yeah. All right. Erica Duro.
We're at the end of our time, and I'm like, I don't want to get stuck out there on that branch.
Yeah, we got just one more comment here. Erica Duro also said, "Wow, food for thought." Back from experience with the ants, and then Essential Tribe circle back around saying, "I had ants in my house and put an offering of honey outside for them last year, and they stayed out of my house.
Yes.
It worked this year also. I am seeing them happy, and I am happy. Would you talk about
Yes.
giving offering, acknowledging, like, please go in on us.
Okay. And so briefly, uh, I have background in working with the nature spirit kingdoms, and it is wise and in your best interest. It is the most ancient way of doing things to acknowledge those things that you cannot see, that are interdimensional, that exist in nature, and that includes the insects. So when you are planting, it is best first, don't plant in rows, plant in a circle, and then secure your circle with an understanding with those of the unseen world that are there, that if they help and protect and grow this forward, that you will segment out a percentage of the crop for them. I have done this, and my tomatoes were the size of grapefruits, and they never touched any of my produce, but they ate theirs. The ants and all of the whatever was in the soil, the portion that was theirs, they ate and took up freely. And they boosted my harvest. I only had, I think, 3 tomato plants. I was giving away baskets of tomatoes because of the acknowledgement of what's there. So allow the bugs to know where you're giving the food. In many cultures, like in Africa, sometimes you'll go to a cafe in the bush and the people will get up and go put food from their plate by the fence, not close to the restaurant, but several feet away, for everything else that's living there, so that it can come and eat out of respect for the fact that I'm eating, I know you need to eat. This is the ancient understanding that you are already experiencing with the honey, and it's beautiful. Doesn't it feel rich to share? Do you eat? They eat. You eat, they make you have more to eat. That's how that works. So it's beautiful.
Indeed.
Was that what you were asking about?
Yeah, the circle of life.
Yeah.
Like the real circle of life. None of that Disney stuff. Back to
Like you don't need a big garden. You need a relationship with the garden, the mysticals that live in the garden. You don't have to have a big greenhouse. You need a circle and a relationship with what is in nature that is designed for this. It's almost blueberry picking time, and I often take people, I haven't done it lately, but I'm going to take people to the blueberry patch to start to introduce them to the nature spirits, because they're easy to see in the blueberry patches. You are encouraged to develop your relationship with the aspects of interdimensional creatures that exist in support of you, but also adjacent to you. We live in an environment that there are things above us, below us, interdimensionally entwined with us, that we are unaware of, so we feel helpless. We are not. Give everything in Lakesh Veritas. You will never go hungry if you do this. You will never be without what you need. You will be prompted to do the right thing at the right time. You will understand what is necessary. You will be able to move forward appropriately and take care of those who you have to take care of, because you take care of everything else. It's the law of what is reciprocal. You can't be hoarding and an ogre and not sharing and think that somebody's going to share with you. It doesn't work that way in any of the worlds. So,
most certainly. So we got one last comment. Yusuf says, "Yes, I want to cha cha cha." Little smiley face. Great message on learning to move into the flow of all that is, and that's really what it's about. Reestablishing a connection to the network.
Yes. Don't let anybody or any philosophy tell you you're not supposed to be part of creation, because that doesn't make sense.
No, you see what done happened to us?
Yeah.
Being disconnected for so long from the server. It's like, Bluetooth disconnected.
But we have to hear the signal. The signal is in the crown chakra. So we need to keep our uh, our bodies filled with that which does not congest the signal, so that we can hear the signal, and the signal will lead us appropriately. We will never point you towards a person. We will always point you towards yourself and your translation of your signal. It is your signal that you came with. It is your birthright. We just have to clear up the Wi-Fi. What's the analogy?
Well, yeah. Well, I would say in this case, if you're in the technology and the hardware, we got to remove the malware,
Oh, okay, good.
the viruses, declutter what's slowing down the RAM that's stopping you from processing and receiving the
The
signal.
signal is there.
Hell, some people need to be plugged in to the wall. Yeah, what's the Wi-Fi password? What's the password?
Which
So
might be
it's,
affirmations, it might be a
yeah,
class, it might be that might be what you need, but ultimately you are the person who has your signal. Ultimately, you clean up all the contributing factors, everything that comes in, you will hear the signal. It will always put you in connection with that which you need.
yeah. And so it has been a pleasure, everyone. You have any final thoughts?
I'm very grateful for this opportunity to have you all to speak to. I feel heard. I hope that you will feel heard as well.
Alrighty.
We thank you for being here in Lakesh Veritas with honor, respect, and gratitude. Thank you.